Hey everybody, it's Heidi here from Tarot Times with Heidi. And we're here about talking about how it's a different kind of intoxication. So being tea drunk is intoxication, but it's not like getting drunk with alcohol or you are tea stoned, but it's not the same as being stoned on acid or mushrooms. It's just completely different actually, because you're not, it's not about losing control. Like you don't lose control at all. If anything, you gain control because it's about finding a state of awareness where your body and your mind meet. Like it's just like your body and your mind come aligned. You actually get more control because you're more focused, you're more aware, you're more present, and like you're relaxed, you're awake, and you feel really vibrant. You feel very euphoric, very transcendental, creative, connected. It's very easy to get into a flow state. So it's not about losing control at all, which is when people think about getting drunk, they think about losing control or being stoned and you lose control, you actually gain control. And for people who don't drink alcohol, like I'm one of those people, I don't drink alcohol. Like getting tea drunk is like an alternate route to joy, creativity, and connection, which are the things that people think like, oh, I'm drinking alcohol because I want to feel connected to other people. I want to be relaxed. I want to lose my social inhibitions. And like when you're drinking tea, those things happen as well. But it's just something that's really nourishing instead of numbing. You don't feel numb on tea at all. You feel super connected, super awake. And that way, being tea stoned reminds me of when it's not the first time I was high on mushrooms. I've only been high on mushrooms like I think two times, three times. It's not very much, but one of the times I got stoned on mushrooms, whenever I get on mushrooms, it just makes me feel super in my body, super embodied, except with I'm not very social on mushrooms. Like I just want to like meditate and be by myself, be in the center of the universe and be harmonious, you know? Whereas when I'm tea stoned, like I'm really social. Like I'm happy to share. Because I'm not stressed and I feel relaxed, I'm fine to socialize. Whereas normally I can find socializing really overwhelming. Actually, like I'm good at being social. I have social skills. I'm very charismatic. People generally like me, but I don't I get overwhelmed socializing. I'm more of an ambivert. I need a lot of alone time, a lot of downtime. And when I'm tea stoned, I'm actually very generous with my social energy. Not necessarily in tea ceremony because I just want to focus on the tea ceremony, but afterwards because you're tea drunk all day, like I like that whole day I feel like even though in ceremony I tend to be quite like private. Like even in Gankucha I tend to not talk very much. Like I'm more meditative in my tea experience. But afterwards when you're tea drunk, like that whole day I feel way more generous socially. Like if someone wants to talk to me and I'm normally, just a little FYI, say I go upstairs and I want to use the bathroom, but I'm in my workflow and I've done a bunch of things. I'm just up to pee, and then I want to get back in my workflow. And Jason is there and he wants to chat with me about something he's done. So he's done something and he wants to share it with me. And it could even be something he's doing for me, you know? Like today, he made me an extension cord so I can like have my tea kettle fits in the cave, but it's a bit short to like I want it to be like if I had an extension cord, then it would be able to sit on the ground beside me and it would be easier for me to use. And so he made me an extension cord, like two size. And I went upstairs to pee and he was like, Heidi, I want to show you this thing. Normally, I get kind of pissed off. I'm like, I don't interrupt me. I'm in my flow. I'm ADHD. It's very hard for me to get focused. I just want to go pee and then run downstairs again and keep on doing my work. That's normally how I feel. But Tia is super supportive at keeping you calm and keeping your attention. So you're actually really able to focus. So it supports my focus. So, like, today when he wanted to show me this extension cord, I wasn't upset at him because I had all this support from the tea. I could just keep my focus. Like I wasn't like racing against time before my medication ran out, which is how I feel normally when I'm going pee. I want to go right back to work so I can like keep on working before my meds run out. Like tea ceremony supports me and my ADHD helps me focus on things. And so when someone wants to have my attention, like I'm not so like hyper aware of my spoons almost. Like I only have 5 spoons and I have to use it to get through my workday. Don't interrupt me. Like that's my normal vibe. Uh, which is kind of intense, but it's just the reality of living with ADHD and like I know how much I have to do and I know that if I get off focus, it's going to take me a while to get back on focus and so it can leave me feeling a bit defensive of my attention. And with tea ceremony, it supports my attention. It leaves me calm. Being tea drunk leaves me calm, like euphoric. So I'm more easygoing. Like for starters, I'm less jittery. I'm calm, and I have attention. So I'm like, yeah, talk to me about this extension cord. Totally down to chat with you for 5 minutes, where normally I wouldn't be. And I'm down for you to chat with 5 minutes. I know that when I go downstairs to keep on doing what I'm doing, I'll just be able to get right back into the flow because my attention is supported. And in that way, like I've often said, tea ceremony is really handy ceremony for people that are neurodivergent because it's a moving meditation, and that is so true. But it's also really helpful just in supporting focus. Being tea drunk supports your focus, supports you being calm. It really, like for people that are burned out chronically, like it supports your adrenal glands, helps you not helps you with burnout. For people that have PTSD, it calms you, regulates your nervous system, makes you more emotionally aware. Like it can be a very powerful tool for people with neurodivergence, uh, just just scientifically because it's good for you to get tea drunk and have that focus all day and it'll support you in a good way. It'll help you if you're depressed and you want to lower your depression. It definitely helps with depression and anxiety. It helps with dementia, helps with your attention, helps keep your brain young. Just getting that much tea through your system every day, it helps support your brain health and that also helps your emotional health. Like it keeps you at ease, it keeps you calm, keeps you happy. It's a really nice form of meditation and it has so many benefits. So yeah, it's a totally different kind of intoxication because normally intoxication or getting stoned is about like losing control. Like when you take acid, it's about following the acid. It's not about you and your control. It's about being on a trip, being on a journey, following the substance, following the leader. You're following the mushroom, you're following acid, or the alcohol even. You're following the plant, and with tea, you are fully in control. And if anything, your awareness, your consciousness increases because you're so mindful and you're so aware of all the nuances that just open up for you. It's like space and time open up for you. That's how I feel at least. It's like they open up for you and you're more aware and you can get more done in less time because your focus is just you don't have to struggle against your focus getting into a task and then struggle with your focus changing your task. And you can just, it's very supportive. And as someone who's highly neurodivergent, like I can't recommend it enough. Um, yeah, you are stoned, but it's not what you would consider. It's not about being sloppy or losing control. It's the opposite. You become more mindful, more aware, more focused, more relaxed, more attentive, more transcendent, more connected, more creative. And you're not like with alcohol or weed even sometimes you get into a creative flow because you lose control. You're not so anal about all the details when you're smoking weed or you're drinking because you can't think about the details because it makes your mind fuzzy. And so that's what allows you to get creative is because you're not so uptight, Whereas like with tea, you are super creative, but it's not because you're less focused and you're just and this creativity was able to eke out of you. It was because you didn't repress yourself. And so it gets where the repression and all this stuff comes out. It's like it's the opposite. Tea ceremony Like it doesn't repress you, it just makes you super aware, and then you can choose to open up and choose to express yourself and choose to feel creative and joyful and connected. It was really interesting, really, really interesting. And I'm not saying like that you can't use drugs and alcohol for different things because there's tons of therapies that use drugs and alcohol, and people have transcendental experiences with drugs and alcohol all the time. I'm not trying to poo-poo that at all because I do take that seriously. I think you can abuse drugs for sure, but I also know people that really respect drugs and have a lot of healing benefits from them. But we don't talk about the healing benefits of tea in terms of being tea drunk or tea stoned, or like how those things are also really therapeutic. So I found it really helpful. It was really interesting for me to deep dive into the subject of being tea drunk. And yeah, like I said at the first tea drunk video, I was like, I didn't know if I wanted to share this, but it is really shocking at the end of say you're doing tea ceremony and you're not used to doing tea ceremony. Like I was doing a psychic reading, and we had decided to do a tea ceremony during the psychic reading. And afterwards, I was quite tea drunk, and I realized, oh, I should probably tell this person that this is just an effect of the Ganggu Cha ceremony, and they were like, "Oh, thank you for telling me." That's good to know because I didn't really know what was going on. And they're like, "Yeah." So like being tea drunk is totally a thing, and if I didn't tell you about it, I would have been missing out on telling you about the ins and outs of tea ceremony because it is quite a big part of it, especially if you are drinking tea every day. So that's what I gotta say. It's a different kind of intoxication. It's a different vibe. So if you have anything you want to share with me about this subject, use the booking link if I've sent you one already. Otherwise, send me an email, tarottimeswithheidi@gmail. Tell me the name of the course, tea ceremony, and tell me the name of the video, which is a different kind of intoxication. And we'll take it from there. All right. Take care, be well, stay safe, and I hope you enjoyed this little journey into tea drunkenness. And yeah, I found it inspiring and illuminating and hopefully a bit demystifying. Okay, bye everyone.